Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Alexa Minton. I'm with y'all today. I've been with y'all all morning. I'll be with you for the midday shows, and then don't worry, you guys are eventually going to get Jim Caldwell back. I promise he's back tomorrow, but I'll be with you a couple more times this week. Thanks so much for joining me throughout parts of the weekend. I know a lot of you tuned in as we were talking about our First Alert weather days. We've got another one today as we're continuing to track active conditions. So let's go ahead and dive right into that forecast. One thing you're going to notice as you're looking at your current conditions is things look to be calm right now. We've got blue skies, a little bit of cloud cover, not much activity. It's once you factor in some of those wind chills that things feel a little bit more brutal. Because right now it's 29 degrees. I would say 29 is already cold. I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me that 29 is cold for Lexington. But you can see those winds pushing in from the south-southwest are giving us some chillier conditions. It feels like 23 when you step outside in Lexington, 25 in Mount Sterling, 32 in Somerset. Our friends in Covington, y'all, they've been on the struggle bus all morning long. They feel like 18 right now. There was quite a bit of parts in the morning where they were in the single digits. There was one moment, I want to say around the 6 o'clock hour, where they felt like 7 degrees. So it is a chilly, chilly morning, folks. It's going to stay chilly, honestly, throughout the rest of our day. You can see those forecasted temps. We're only going to reach our peak during 1, maybe even 3 o'clock as we track some snow in parts of the afternoon. It's for that reason we've got a First Alert weather day in effect, y'all. You can kind of see the snow looming off in the distance. It's over parts of St. Louis as it has been for much of the morning now. We are getting ready to see that cloud cover start to push in. It's going to come in the early parts of the afternoon, and then eventually it's going to bring us some snowfall in the back half of our day. So I'm talking really kind of, we'll start to see those flurries post 3 p.m. You might start to see a few flakes flying before, and you could see a few raindrops kind of intermittent in between some of that snowfall. It's supposed to be a wintry mix for southern areas and then pick up and turn into some snowfall. You'll see what I'm talking about here because we see the snow creep in first part of the afternoon. It's hitting areas like Elizabethtown, Campbellsville, Lawrenceburg. Few wintry mix parts on the bottom half edge of that storm. Turns into more snowfall once we get past 3 o'clock. Look at this. Somerset, London. Y'all missed out this past weekend. I felt really bad. Some of you guys in the comments on Saturday were like, we want snow. Now's your chance. It's not necessarily going to be as much of the system that we had this past weekend. You can see it's still scattered, but you'll get some good locally heavy portions. You'll get anywhere between a coating to an inch here, and I'll show you our snowfall map here in a second, but watch how scattered it stays throughout parts of the evening. There's like a band that stretches along I-64. There's kind of a gap leaving out our friends in like Berea, and then it eventually stretches down towards parts of Somerset, London, Hazard, Harlan. Y'all will get your chance at some snowfall. Stay scattered towards parts of the afternoon. Then as we look towards the start of our Tuesday, I mean, it's still a little bit cloudy, still a few flying flakes. We'll be overall clear on our Tuesday, but look at those morning temperatures. 17 in Lexington, 22 in Jackson, 18 in Mount Sterling. Those are our air temperatures. We aren't even factoring in the wind chill yet. So definitely a chilly next couple of mornings. Here's our current call for snowfall. You can see it's a pretty big area. We're saying anywhere between a nice coating to locally 1 inch possible. It's because this storm is pretty scattered as it rolls across our skies. And it's going to drop like maybe these heavy amounts. Like, so for example, in Lexington, we ranged between 2.5 inches to 3 inches. Hamburg area got around 3 inches of snowfall, but not necessarily in parts of the downtown area. They got closer to 2.5 inches. So it's that like locally heavy pockets that we want to keep our eye out, seeing maybe getting an inch of snow. We're definitely cold enough to see things stick, but I can't promise the sunshine tomorrow is going to help things last at all. One thing I also want to talk about, and I know everyone wants to focus on snowfall, but I've got to touch on these temperatures because we're below average for our temperatures all week long. Look at this. We're rarely making it out of the 30s for our area. We are staying in the 30s. Wednesday, Sunday, there are the exceptions. We pop up towards the 40s briefly, but it's those overnights when we drop down to the teens and the 20s that are going to be really brutal, and then they continue as we look into our early morning start. So just keep in mind, stay bundled up. Even if it's not snowing, doesn't mean it's not going to be brutally cold outside. So First Alert weather day through tonight on our Monday night. Y'all will have meteorologist Ben Bedost for your evening shows. We got the more light snow rolling in late afternoon into parts of the evening hours. Again, locally, it could be up to an inch, but we're mostly sticking around coatings. Definitely sticking areas south of I-64. Few areas along I-64 will get some of that activity as well. Certainly a lot of activity happening over the past couple days. I've seen some people already saying in the comments that they are big fans of snow. As always, let us know if you guys have any questions. in the comments. Let me know if you're a fan of snow. I thought this past weekend snow was like ideal scenario because we got it, it was pretty, and then it eventually faded off and we didn't have to worry too much about it. But of course, stick with us the rest of the day. We're going to be timing this out hour by hour. I'll be with you guys at WKYT News at noon. We'll be talking about it through all of our evening shows, and then y'all will get Jim back tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day.